Push the button again.
Which way?
On top. Now do it.
Grab it? Oh, that's pretty nifty. How come we haven't had one of these all these years?
Because your husband's too cheap.
Do you like to see me push a broom?
Best $150 I spent in a minute.
Seriously. All those years you bought me flowers, you should have just bought me one of
For
those.
real. I saw it and I'm like, I'm gonna get some brownie points for this one. Okay, this is the weather for this week. Saturday and Sunday, 60% chance of snow, 40% chance of snow. I've got to get all of the insulation done today, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the week cutting firewood. I don't want to spend any more time doing insulation than I have to, and I think I can literally get it all done today, so I'm going to just get after it. It's actually a beautiful day today, supposed to be 68 degrees, which is, again, crazy. So I'm going to hope that I can get all of these walls done with what I have, and then I'm going to go back where the little cabin is and start bucking up all of that wood that's just basically sitting there waiting for me. So here's my useless mask.
I don't know what it means, but there's a smile upon your face, and I see something shimmering in your eyes. And they say if you want to glimpse the future, you need space. And you said you'll put down your morning guns. Would you follow me to wonders? Take my hand and walk beside me in a world of thunder. Fear is an imposter. When you look at me this way, I find it hard to not give in. So the days became weeks, it felt just like the night before. You were slowly fading in my mind. When you left, I was so completely gone, but now I'm sure you were some of the best of things to find. Would you follow me to wonders? If you're everything that matters to me, makes me wonder why I can't get over you. When you look at me this way, I find it hard to not give in.
The narration on today's video may be a little bit unique to the circumstances we're currently living through. While I prefer to be optimistic and have a half-glass full perspective, I'm a little nervous right now for obvious reasons. That being said, it isn't stopping me from being productive. I'm still working on the shop. I'm making an effort to get the insulation done. I'm making preparations to go cut firewood. We're getting prepared for the storm that's approaching this weekend. While I can look at my weather app and feel confident that it's pretty accurate, there's not too many other places I trust when it comes to truth. It seems that we've been fed half-truths over and over and over to the point where nobody's sure, in fact, who's being honest. The shop is halfway done. I have 10 bags left of 29. The 10 bags should finish this back wall and a small part of this north wall, but I'm gonna have to, it didn't go as far as I hoped it would go, which I was kind of expecting. So anyway, if I have enough time, I'm gonna, while I'm all itchy and scratchy, I'm gonna grab, I have one bag of I think it's R19 that's for a 4-inch wall, which is what the little cabin is. I'm gonna run up and throw that in the cabin real quick. But this is part of the reason I don't watch news of any kind. I have trusted the democratic process up to this point, but I feel something is amiss. I'm not going to talk a whole lot more about it. As I've said in previous videos, that I hate politics, and the truth is, I hate politics. I would rather discuss just about any other topic than politics. But when I feel that the most important part of the process is no longer working accurately, and I'm talking about casting a vote, I'm concerned. Now, from time to time, we get asked, are you preppers? And that term has a bit of a negative connotation, but I suppose Cedar and I have been preppers since before the word was cool. So on one hand, I can't think of a better place to be than where I'm at, if things did get out of control. But on the other hand, the last thing I want to happen is things to get out of control. While it seems the older I get, the less I align with either side of the aisle with many topics, I still believe in the democracy that this country was built on. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud for those that have gone before me, that have sacrificed their lives to give us the freedoms that we have. I believe the democratic standard, which has been practiced for well over 200 years, is the standard by which other democratic governments measure themselves against. This doesn't mean that the process isn't corrupt. I believe it is. I believe politicians by nature are corrupt. And while I have faith, and I believe in the statement that in God we trust, I'm worried. I worry for those that may be behind on their mortgage payments or their rent payments, and they don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I worry for those that are on the verge of losing everything. And I suppose the biggest worry that I have stems from the fact that I don't see a solution. I hope that whoever the president ends up being in this great country I live in has the foresight to help those in need. But that being said, we should help ourselves as much as we possibly can. I still have faith that the good times are ahead of us. I have faith that we can help our fellow man and get through this. That's all I'm going to say about that. In the meantime, 29 bags of insulation did not finish the shop. I was short 10 bags of insulation. I ran down to the big box store and I picked up a different manufacturer's version of stone wool, but it's still basically the same exact stuff, same R value. And Cedar and the kids helped me move enough boxes to get around the back of all of our junk so I can get the shop finished. Now with the stone wool, I prefer to put it in place before I do electrical. I learned this on the house. It looks cleaner, and truthfully, the insulation goes in much easier when I'm not fighting outlets and wiring. As I wire the shop with outlets and switches, the wiring now has to be recessed at least 1/2 inch to avoid any drywall screws. Then nail plates will go up before drywall is hung. If I was subcontracting this out, the electricians typically come in first, then the insulation. Before I do the ceiling on the shop, I'll put all the can lights in first. Then I may end up doing a blown-in insulation. I haven't quite decided yet. Okay, I'm a bag and a half short. I'm not going to go to town tonight for a bag and a half of insulation. I am going to run up to the off-grid cabin and throw the 1 bag of 4-inch bat that I've been saving and see how far that goes so I can figure out how much more I need for the little cabin as well. So
Just about every type of insulation leaves a dust everywhere, and I picked up a little Milwaukee blower that I knew Cedar and the kids would enjoy probably more than me, but it uses the same batteries that all my other tools do, so I spent the $150 on something that I know would get used. I can't wait to get back working on the cabin. I'm going to try to drive my truck all the way up here so I can load my truck full of firewood instead of using the Ranger. And I think I can get my truck up here. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but I'm going to give it a try tomorrow. I had one bag of the 4-inch stone wool left, and I brought it up and installed it in the cabin just to get rid of it. I no longer have any stone wool left around the place, and I'm happy to be able to say that. I'll probably just use fiberglass on the little cabin before I put up a tongue and groove knotty pine siding inside. I'm still on the hunt for a little small wood burning stove that I can put up there as well, and I'm looking forward to using the little cabin every chance we get. All right, we've had 4 or 5 warm days, and we're about to get a cold snap. We've got snow this weekend. I came up and I took the water tank level indicator that was on the exposed tank, which I've already drained, and I moved it over to the tank that's inside the shed. The goal is for next year is to probably bury both of those tanks, or at least bury them halfway up. The exposed tank has been drained, and I also just added about a half a gallon of bleach to the insulated tank. I try to shock the tanks about twice a year, shock the systems, and so for the next 24 to 36 hours, we will be cautious with how we use the water, but I don't want anything growing in my water tanks and or my plumbing all the way down to the house. And then I may pop the lid off the shallow well and add a half a gallon to the shallow well as well. But we're ready for the snow that's coming this weekend. The only thing I really got left to do is to get the plow truck brought down to the house, make sure it's full of fuel, and then I'm going to spend the next few days cutting firewood. I'm just trying to decide if I can drive my pickup all the way back to the cabin. I may give it a go just to have something to throw firewood in. So. If all goes well, this coming Sunday's video should feature a whole lot of firewood getting piled up and split in preparation for our first official snowstorm of the year. Be safe, everybody.